college football recap, week 13 in the books. It is a blur now since we're kind of recapping this Monday night, but Oklahoma had a big win. They needed that. Lots of pushover games for a lot of teams like Alabama and Notre Dame just blowing people out of the water. You should have had Notre Dame at the plus 70, Jaeson, or 63, since that was not even close.
Yeah, I regretted not taking that one. I was like, that's a lot of points. I don't know if they really take it
39?
Yeah, it was something like 36.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah,
it was 36.
They easily covered, trying to show off points.
Wait, how did I didn't watch the game? Obviously, wasn't on in the. How did they go up 21-0? Because they said they were up 21-0 before they even had an offensive snap.
I'll be honest, I wasn't watching the game because I was in Vegas, so I just saw a Jeremiah Love highlights. Like they just handed him the ball and then he'd run to the end zone and no one touches him. So yeah,
I don't know if that's true. Like I guess they might have had a kickoff return and a couple pick six.
Quarter.
Yeah, it was 35-0 in the first quarter. They already covered in the first quarter in that game.
That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Dude, I'm trying to remember any other games in that one. I think, Georgia Tech, big loss. Illinois, big loss to Wisconsin. And then Oregon, big win. Shut up everyone that was up on USC's crotch all year round.
We called that on the show, Rome. Oregon. Yeah, so. Why everybody else was on USC, we were on Oregon here.
I loved it. So always happy when USC loses.
3 touchdown favorite against UCLA this weekend, Rome.
3?
Yeah, 21.5. Early line that I saw.
Cover, dude. I like when you see that to cover.
How about what they beat 48-14 at home against Washington?
I don't know. Actually, I like my phone's not giving me updates anymore.
I think you turned it off, Rome. I think you got the same phone that I get for updates for my team. You just don't want to see it. I hit ignore.
Florida State. Well, Florida State's keeping their coach.
Yeah, I hit block. I hit block on that.
Was that what you're so mad about?
It's up there.
Okay.
Oh, so you're not happy that they're keeping Norvell?
No,
he's been calling for his firing all year.
I said he should have been fired after Stanford, Rome.
Yeah, and now they're not because they are all in alignment. But did you hear how much they owe?
No, it's because they don't have the money for the buyout. Well, that's why they're keeping them.
Do you know how much it is?
It's $72 million.
The whole staff, yes.
Yes.
The other thing about not firing these guys too, because I think Penn State and a little bit LSU until we'll see what Lane Kiffin does here. But like they fire these guys, but then like, what's your backup plan? Who's the coach out here is going to do like a better job? And so,
Florida State doesn't have one.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they do.
Let's just be honest. Florida State's way underachieved. You can get a coach that can do better than what they're doing right now.
100%. Why are they doing so badly? They've had a great recruiting classes. They were just literally just a bad quarterback's leg away from competing in the national championship. That was just 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look at the last time they won a road game was against Florida 2 years ago. They haven't won a road game since.
Dude, I saw that stat. I'm like, what? That would get anybody else fired. There was a funny stat.
Not when you're owed $72 million for your whole coaching staff.
I think it was like Kiffin and him and Sarkisian and Smart, like they're all friends, and I guess they have like an elite college, football.
Well,
chat.
they're all owned by what is it, Jimmy Saxon? Is that through their?
I don't know, but Norvell's not obviously not in it. But they're like, oh, lose one game, whatever. Lose 2 games, people want you fired, but lose 3 games, you're definitely fired. They're because they're talking about Franklin game acts, but Norvell's man. Staying alive.
Well, Franklin was axed, going back to Jason's point, because here's the thing, and Norvell has it as well, but Franklin's still a hot commodity. In the buyout from Virginia Tech, Penn State only owes him $9 million.
Yep.
The problem is, go ahead.
Did you say, I didn't know a ton about this contract, but there was something about Franklin's buyout where he had to like make a reasonable effort to find a comparable job. Yeah, comparable employment, and then
that's a lot of people's contracts.
Whatever he couldn't get is different. I mean, because a lot of that was the first time I had heard that, because a lot of these guys like sit on this money and aren't like
Brian Kelly's going to.
Yeah,
but Brian Kelly's old. He's old though.
Who was Kingsbury? That it was really big a part of his.
Well,
contract.
he got like $16 million. But Kingsbury,
But
that's
he was
from the
he was supposed to
Cardinals,
find
right?
employment. Yeah, but he didn't, and so everyone accused him. I think they went to court for that. Then he finally got the Washington job last year. But yeah, that was a big part of that contract too. It's pretty common in a lot of contracts, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
talked about enough.
I haven't really heard that, so that's interesting. Well, we knew James Franklin was going to get a job. In
I would
fact,
have took
I'll
a
be
year off, dude.
honest,
He would have
if
made more
Florida
money
State,
not playing, right? He
yeah,
would have
but
made
I
so
mean,
much more money.
James Franklin's what, 50 years old? Yeah, but
Just
James
loves-
Franklin's like 50. Here's the funny thing is, if Florida State had the money, James Franklin would be at Florida State. Because James Franklin, if you remember back going against Virginia Tech when they played him 2 weeks ago, Florida State, or a week and a half ago now, the story came out that Virginia Tech basically gave James Franklin a hard deadline because the rumor was maybe Florida State was going to move off Norvell and Franklin was going to go there.
I
But
thought it was like a
like you
homecoming
mentioned,
for
Rome,
Franklin at Virginia. He's from the
look,
area.
Virginia Tech and Florida State aren't comparable jobs. You'll take Florida State over Virginia Tech any day of the week. But like you said, Rome, it's a $72 million buyout for the current staff. Then you got to invest in the new staff another $60+ million. So it's really a $130 million investment. So
That's
you
not
just
a bad
come out, you make a statement where you all lie. That'd be like us going off the air, restarting the show and agree, oh yeah, the Carolina Panthers are a great effing football team. No, they're not. Okay? Not enough money is going to get me to say that they are.
I'm like, you haven't seen any quarter of them play? Like,
No, I've watched them, Rome, but I'm saying on just one single screen, that's them the only game. This is the first time. Because I always have like 4 games on one screen, 2 and 3 on another, multi-view. So this is the first time I've actually blown them up as a single game from start to finish. And I feel like I went from 2015 eye vision to 2030 after watching it. I'm going to have to call my eye doctor and ask for a free exam. But going back to Florida State, guys, look, they don't have the money. I think the 2 reasons why. The main reason is the money. And then number 2, Romy mentioned recruiting class. This is probably Mike Norvell's best incoming recruiting class in the 6-7 years he's been there. So obviously with early signing period coming December 3rd through the 5th, if you get rid of them now, you're going to lose, at least half your commitments. So that means your recruiting class is basically botched. Another thing, when I look at it, Florida State's maybe the 5th best job available right now in the market. LSU's a better job. Florida's a better job. Auburn's a better job. Penn State's a better job. So do you really want to get in a bidding war of all these other programs? Or do you just throw more money like they say they're going to in an NIL, hope for the best? Because here's the thing. I don't know what, they say they're going to make structural changes, and we'll see how that all goes out. I mean, they made a lot of changes last year. I mean, the team has improved from 2-10 to 5-6. They'll probably lose to Florida and finish 5-7. So it is an improvement if you look at it that way. But here's a good thing for Norvell. The ACC is a train wreck, and they could easily come back next year and win it.
yeah, 5 teams ranked right now.
It's a train wreck of a conference, Rome.
I mean, we thought that this year. They come out in week 1. You think they're back. It's going to be close and not.
In Rome.
Dude, isn't it crazy how things change?
In Rome, you asked me why Notre Dame's ahead of Alabama, and I told you because that Florida State loss looks worse. It looks again worse this week that they continue to lose to NC State, who has
I don't even know who they lost to. I'm surprised that they're losing these games. It's kind of
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just it's like they're not even trying.
And Miami, I know, Rome, you've been backing them all year.
Is Norvell a good coach? We should be asking that question. They obviously have no game plan, no schematics. They have no coaching in every position level.
Norvell's kind of like in the weirdest spot, dude, because this is his 6th year. He's going to have 4 losing seasons in 6.
And they got worse every year.
Well, what's weird, like I said, Rome, it's weird because he's the only coach. He had the longest winning coaching streak of any coach over like the last 10 years when he won 19 in a row. That's better than Saban, Kirby Smart, all those guys, because they all lost at least 1 game every year in the SEC. So he does have a 19-game win streak in there. And then we all, like you talked about, they got stripped from the playoff when they should have been in the Final Four. I think they would have won on to win the title that year had they not gotten stripped. That's just how bad it is.
No chance.
But I think they would have beat Michigan. They matched up very well with Michigan. I mean, you see what the Rams defensive line looks like. It's just basically all Florida State guys on there, just dominating people.
All right.
Oh, a little cleanup. Little cleanup for the segment. I will say Aaron mentioned Jimmy Sexton, the agent. So, in addition to Norvell, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Kirby Smart. So this guy gets people paid.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah. So gets people paid, and so yeah, I think to Aaron's
and
point
he's Lane
about,
Kiffin too, right?
I don't know if he is.
I think he is Lane Kiffin.
He might be. I mean, there's a lot of ties to the Bama contingent there. So yeah, he gets people paid. So I'm sure beyond the money aspect of it, I think the reputational stuff that this guy holds a lot of weight with where coaches are going to be. Because you remember when the Bama opening came, it was Norvell and Kalen DeBoer were the only logical successors because it was all Jimmy Sexton clients. So
yeah, and that's what the bidding war was. And then Florida State had more money than Washington, and Kalen DeBoer went there. The other name was Sarkisian, but he wasn't leaving Texas. So I mean, look at what's Lane Kiffin going to get? I heard he's getting offered $90 million by LSU. Is that the number?
Yeah.
I mean, ESPN headline is Lane Kiffin has a mere $100 million decision coming Saturday. He better win Friday.
Yeah, he has not done well when his name's in the rumor.
He's not that good in the Egg Bowl. I mean, that's not going to be an easy game at Mississippi State.
Dude, it's been too much noise around that. I just wish he would have just said, like, no, I'm staying at Ole Miss. He's making good money. They're going to put more money into the program.
But do you
LSU
think
much better? Like,
but do you think if he was going to stay at Ole Miss, he would have already accepted? Or is he just kind of? I mean, how many more millions can you drag out of a university? Is that what it is, or does he really want to challenge himself somewhere else?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone says if he's gonna make a change, he should do it now. But that's why people don't like Lane Kiffin either, because he always jumping around from job to job.
And that's why I said he would never be. That's why I said he wouldn't be good for the NFL realm. He's perfect for college because you can play this Mickey Mouse game. It's part of college. It's part of college athletics.
Parcells kind of did that, jumped around
to a degree, but
yeah,
I would. But I think for Lane, you're talking about his 1 year in Tennessee and immediate to USC, and I think USC was the job of jobs for him at this time because that's where he kind of came up in that Pete Carroll era. But yeah, I mean, he went in the Nick Saban rehabilitation tour back in Alabama, and then But I think at this point, I think it's just Ole Miss is just a tier below some of these other schools in the SEC and where it's at when you look at the resources. Yeah. I think we just look at resources where it's going to be. Like I don't know the financials and where you get these people, but LSU's, LSU's a public university and they got all these drama with Kelly and then haggling over like who's in charge there too. Like, I mean, I know they got resources there, but they got enough resources if they fire Kelly because he's so bad and then they can't really fire him and they don't know where the money's coming from. And like, are the resources really there? Because LSU's been successful. They just put every 5 years, okay, we got the greatest team of all time, and then it's drama for the next 5 years.
Well, did you hear about some of the conditions if Kiffin goes to LSU? There's some rumors saying that they would welcome Ed Orgeron on the staff
I did see that.
to help
with
Kiffin.
That.
And
Ed, they work together at USC.
Yes.
Yeah, and Ed, I like Ed, so maybe that's enough to entice.
I mean, look, I like Ed as a coach and a person. But like Jason and I touched on before, he got a little too up on himself down in Baton Rouge.
He won a championship, bro.
Which is fine.
It's hard. It's not a lot of those.
No, it is very difficult. It is very difficult, and you got to give the man his props. And that's why LSU would say, "Hey, you're welcome back," just not as the head guy. But like Jason just touched on, LSU doesn't have the money, and they got rid of Brian Kelly. They basically went to the governor and said, hey, we don't have the money, but the governor hated Kelly and hated the direction. He just said, fire him. Florida State doesn't want to end up in the same boat as LSU because they don't have the money the same.
I don't like it when a public institution is saying, this is on the tax dollars. I'm like, dude, we should never be using tax dollar. That word tax dollars is paying coaches this exorbitant amount of money. It doesn't matter. That's just ridiculous. That's just not a good look. LSU to me just kind of pegged down a few spots after that whole ordeal and then not paying Kelly. And then all of a sudden, Kelly just got fired this past week.
So, yeah, supposedly the clerk finally filed the paperwork.
Well, because the lawsuit,
it's
Kelly's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that after they didn't let him come back for senior night for his son, and his son was repping everything like something
His son goes
tragic
there?
happened to him? He's on the team apparently.
Oh, I didn't know
Is
that.
he like a
I didn't know
long
that.
snapper? Is his son like a long
Yeah,
snapper?
it's like
right?
long
Or
snapper
something. Yeah.
like. So he walked out on senior night with like no parents and whatever like that, and so everyone was going out there.
Aw,
There
That's
was a whole
messed up,
thing
dude.
about it.
That is messed
that
up.
is kind of messed up.
I mean, I could
actually.
see not letting Brian Kelly, but at least let the mom, the grandma, or somebody come out.
I'd be pissed, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really talk to my family, but
You
if
know what?
did,
I would say,
really want
look-
them to be there.
Well, I mean, if he's on the football team, then at least you like him
Yeah.
to some degree.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, look, I'm not going to show up, but I want an extra $1 million not to make a fuss about it on X.
All right. Is there any pressing issues with college football this past week, or I know the new CFP playoff things come out tomorrow. I didn't really check up on the new rankings, but I'm assuming not much has changed. We had a couple big losses. Georgia Tech is definitely out. Like, they totally fucked up and chat the bet on that one. How do we do on the games of the week, though? How we do in the locks of the week?
Locks in the week went 2-1.
Nice.
So
Solid.
classic.
Back on track, dude.
Back on track.
Back on track.
We hit BYU. We hit Oklahoma. Talking about Florida, I don't know what happened to them. I mean, Tennessee hadn't won a game in the swamp in 22, 23 years, and they just laid an ass whipping on those guys.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but
that might be the worst game of the week in Florida versus Florida State. So do not touch that one, boys. It's a pick 'em, and that's literally a pick 'em if you even want to watch that game.
Florida State has to win to be bowl as well, I think, right?
Yeah, they do. But since Norvell is going to be around, might as well win. I mean, there's no consequence if he wins or loses, so might as well get bowl eligible.
Might as well end up in the Penske
Sun Bowl. El Paso against Nebraska. We'll go. That'll be a good one. The Tiger Bowl in El Paso.
I thought Nebraska was on the up this year, man.
What's up with the recruiting class in Nebraska? 9 commitments? That's bad.
Decommitments, right?
No, only 9 guys committed.
And 6 decommitments, right?
Maybe. I mean,
they're losing guys right now.
So maybe the money's dried up there. They paid Matt Rule. They got no more money for recruits. That's what happens. You start paying these coaches.
I'm tired of Nebraska just hiring like the next fancy guy just so he can do the same thing and just go 500 and not change a thing.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do the college. We're going to do the college preview. I mean, he got them to a bowl game, something they hadn't done in like 9 years.
All right. So we have Thanksgiving this week. I don't know the schedule, when the lines come out, all that stuff, but you guys will help.
Everything will be out Wednesday, Rome. So Wednesday I'll be at my parents' place. You guys want to record? We could do it.
We will call Wednesday the Big Turkey Day pod. We'll do it live. I don't think we can do it live actually on our platform.
You and Bill O'Reilly now? We'll do it live.
It'd be kind of cool.
I think a lot to talk about probably Wednesday once we get these college football rankings, because I think there is a lot of drama behind that. You mentioned the Georgia Tech loss, but Aaron's beloved ACC is going to throw this thing into the seventh circle of hell.
Bad.
Because Miami is on a crusade right now of the disrespect that they're receiving because they beat Notre Dame. But all else right now, with Notre Dame winning out, Notre Dame's in, Miami's out. They finished with the exact same record, and Miami wins head-to-head, but you're going to try to shove 5 SEC schools in this thing. And Miami doesn't get the chance even for the ACC championship game to get the automatic ACC champion bid, so which means the ACC would have to get 2 teams for Miami to have a shot. And so the committee, the comments about eye tests versus on the field stuff and everything like that is going to be really interesting. And so I think as this thing comes out, we got some head-to-heads going on this week, but I think there's going to be a lot of drama come out of Aaron's beloved ACC conference and the Hurricanes out of Miami.
I know what it is. The background is more prominent on our recording, so they've shranked out all the tiles.
Yeah.
That was never live right there.
Okay. Thanks for catching that, Rome, after an hour recording. Appreciate your input on that. No, I mean, going back to what Jaeson said, I mean, Miami, they, look, for them to get into the ACC title game, here's the thing with Miami. They're playing Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. We saw what Notre Dame did to these guys 2 weeks ago. Miami's literally got to win like 60-0. Like, they literally have to win 60-0 and say, look, we beat Notre Dame. We just beat the team Notre Dame beat the shit out of them. We beat them 60-0. We should get in. That's really their only case and chance. Unless SMU happens to lose, Virginia happens to lose, all these teams just happen to lose, and Miami wins and sneaks into the ACC title game. It's unfortunate because Miami is the best team in the ACC, but they're not going to likely get into the conference championship. And their bad losses are going to keep them out, even though they beat Notre Dame in the opening game of the year. Unless, like I said, they win 60-0 and make a statement to the committee, like, you have to let us in. That's their only shot.
Well, it's unfortunate because, Pittsburgh, SMU, Georgia Tech, they've all had some pretty big losses recently. They just kind of like sour the whole deal. So that's tough.
Like Jason has touched on, I agree. Mario Cristobal, he's just good for losses. He's just good for losing games, not showing up. Off a bye week, they lose to Louisville, who's now shit the bed.
Shows up more than Norvell.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he's winning that matchup.
Who isn't beating Norvell right now? I mean, Stanford beat them, and then look at Cal. At least Cal has some balls to fire the coach after losing to Stanford. That's how bad Stanford is.
It cost him his job, dude.
Yeah,
we had some fires this week, dude. Cal just said, "You're out of here." And I didn't even know Ron Rivera's the GM for Cal.
First of all, Ron Rivera shouldn't be the GM for anybody. I think Jason will agree with that.
Wasn't he with didn't he like turn the Carolina Panthers upside down?
Is he a Cal graduate? Is that where he's from?
I don't know.
He's old, so I don't, I don't know. But I'm gonna look that up right now.
No, they lost pretty badly to Stanford, and they were heavy favorites, and cost him his job. You're right.
And look, he's gotten some six straight bowl games in the 9 years there. He's done good at Cal. He's done good at Cal.
Ron Rivera was an alma mater alumni of Cal. Yeah.
He should not be the GM of your football program. I think Jason would agree with that.
Year.
Well, I don't know. The GM of Stanford over there, man, he's one of us during the middle of his interview, yelling ball when the ball was out, Good old Andrew Luck.
I like Andrew Luck there. I do. And I looked at, I don't know who's going to coach at
Every
Stanford.
time Aaron has gone out of his way to say how terrible Stanford is, they won a game.
Well,
sure?
I will say this, Rome. There is part true in that. They did beat Cal. They did beat Florida State, two teams I was high on early in the year. I did say take Miami minus 30.5 against them. They beat them by 35. So I have been right about Stanford sucks. They recovered. Stanford didn't even have an offensive point in the first half of this game and led because they recovered two fumbles for scores, for touchdowns. That was their only points in the first half.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I just don't know what conference is Stanford in?
The ACC.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So is Cal.
Stupid.
It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, remember they were on the outside looking in.
Why are they playing each other? Okay, all right. Thanks for clarifying that. Stanford 3-5, man.
They
in
suck.
Conference, solid.
Guess what? It's better record than Florida State. 2-6 conference.
Yeah.
With a win over them because the
better than North Carolina at 2-5. Better than Virginia Tech, Franklin's new home.
Hey, Franklin was living it up, man. He was living it up there on the sidelines at Virginia Tech. Covered against Miami.
He was there?
Yeah. He was there. He was going around shaking fans and all around in the stadium.
He'll do fine.
Jay Franklin's going to do good at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Aaron, when you said Cal fired their head coach, I knew he wasn't the head coach, but part of me just want to say they fired Jeff Tedford.
Oh, I love Jeff Tedford, dude.
I just feel like he's still the coach of Cal,
I love Jeff.
Was that?
It was. I had to look it up while you guys are talking. It was 2012 is when he left Cal.
Where's Tedford? Where's Tedford now? Because I know he was at Fresno State, but he had some health issues. Is he still coaching?
He's not. Last thing was 2023 at Fresno State. He did.
Yeah, because I know he had some health issues, so he stepped away. But I've always liked Jeff Tedford at Cal with Rogers, Marshawn Lynch. He had some good teams at Cal.
He has a pretty good team.
Cal hasn't been good since Wilcox took over and they got rid of him.
Yep. They had Rogers.
Yeah. And Wilcox, you can look this up, but I know he was at USC with Sarkisian. I don't know if he was there with Kiffin as like his D coordinator, but I think he was the defensive coordinator for Steve Sarkisian at USC when he was the SC head coach. That's how Wilcox parlayed that into the Cal Berkeley job.
Interesting.
I like Wilcox. I think it's a bad fire by Cal. Bad hiring Ryan Rivera. They can hire us 3 for half the fucking price they're paying that guy. We could do a better job.
All right.
I think that's what I think that's what I need to get into is just doing GM stuff, man. I'm tired of all these guys just getting gigs, not knowing what they're doing. Basketball, football, I'm available for whatever, man.
Dude,
I mean, all these guys are 500. Yeah. I mean, what are the Sacramento Kings doing?
You're gonna have to show them some different numbers besides a yellow pad, though. They're gonna want some Excel files. You know what an Excel file is?
Look, man, the yellow pad's hard and legal. Look, I already gave you the answer to the Raiders' problems. Sign George Pickens in the offseason. That's step 1.
Steelers should have kept him, dude. All right, I'll do it for a college football. We're good. I think we're good,
Rome. I don't want to talk about how Nebraska got their ass kicked by Penn State. We don't need to talk about that.
Dude, I didn't even what? I didn't watch it. I was preoccupied on Saturday. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll get into. I mean, we'll talk Wednesday, but previewing the games coming up. But we talk about all these playoff teams with Rome. I saw something on FanDuel with Michigan. They're saying if Michigan beats Ohio State, 90% chance they make the playoff field.
Yep.
So we'll see.
They'll keep it tight. I don't know, man. Ohio State's so fucking good, though. I'm actually worried like this might be the year they just finally return the favor for all those past 4 or 5 years.
I think Michigan's going to win again.
Oh, dude, I would love it.
Notre Dame could be out if Michigan wins.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would love it even more.
Yeah, it's crazy, but we'll see. I mean, it comes back to the old. Well, they lost to Oklahoma, SC. SC got beat by Notre Dame. Yeah, it becomes a lot interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I already told you guys I'm taking Michigan plus 10, 9, 8, 12, whatever they are this week. That's my one pick for the college contest. I like Michigan.
All right, so besides Norvell keeping his job, what else kind of pissed you off before the pod today? Besides you taking a big L tonight with the Panthers.
Well, I mean, like I said, Rome, I haven't watched the Panthers on the full screen. They eliminated me from week 9, the Circus Survivor. Had a good run going there. So just watching that, I think it all kind of correlated. The built-up tension just came out. Like Norvell, bad news Sunday, watching this Panthers game. Having to live through another 5-7, 6-6 season with Florida State next year is not something looking forward to. Yeah. But hey, I'll say this. We talked about him in the earlier segment. I think Gus Malzahn, he might move on from OC at Florida State. Why not just bring in Chip Kelly? Let's see how good these two non-good coaches are work together. Maybe that's the magic formula to go 12-0 or 0-12. I don't know.
Chip Kelly would do well in Florida State. That's kind of his.
I think he would.
That's a good environment for him, actually.
Why not bring him back?
You always throw these bullshit names out of the air and that
Rome, that's not bullshit. Rome, it's just people. Talk to me and Jaeson, the sources. We've got connections everywhere. You got a phone, you got a sofa, hit us up. We get, information comes in, comes out.
All right. Catch our all Thanksgiving pod for college football and NFL. It's going to be hard to push it out by Wednesday, but sometime Wednesday, early Thursday, time for Turkey Day. I'll do it. Source from the sofa. We are out.